I don't want to talk about the Giants at all.
We have to. It's the Giant and the Jet. We have to talk about it. Even
All right.
I would skip over the Jets most weeks, honestly.
Oh God. Let me.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Giant and the Jet podcast. Today is December 11th. We are recording early in the day. I don't have work. Mike is taking his lunch to do the podcast. A lot going on in the sports world. But before we get to that, please like and subscribe, everybody. Click the like button, click the subscribe button if you see our videos. Um, like I always say, we're doing this for fun, but to get a nice following, get people to watch, it means a lot to us. So please do that. We'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, so back to sports. We have a lot going on. I mean, actually, not a lot going on in terms of the Giants and the Jets. That's both seasons are going to be forgotten about in probably the next 2 years or so. The Mets, though, Mets have a lot going on. NFL football. I was actually thinking about this. It's not on the prep sheet. This is one of the better seasons we've had, I think, in terms of the ups and downs.
Yeah.
Just every game, it feels like it means a lot. Great football season so far. We are going to start off on my Mets, though. Unfortunately, we have a lot of news going on with the Mets. So in the past 2 weeks, we've lost probably at least three of my favorite players, two homegrown Mets, one guy we traded for who ended up becoming a fan favorite. So I figured I'd talk on that. Mike, you feel free to chime in as I'm going because I wanted to kind of break down each move that we've made so far.
Yep. I only have like a question or two, but this is all you. Go ahead, New York Mets.
Okay. So first off, I don't even know how long it was ago now, maybe 2 weeks ago, we trade away Brandon Nimmo, homegrown Met. We drafted him. He's gone. We trade him to the Rangers for Marcus Semien. I do think that this move makes sense in a vacuum. Nimmo, his fielding has gone down pretty much every year for about the past 2 or 3 years. He has 5 years left on his contract, so we trade for a guy in Semien who maybe isn't as good of a bat as Nimmo, but he has 2 less years on his deal. He's a better fielder. He's a better base runner. I think the Mets did not want to be held down with having Nimmo be their DH for the next 3 out of 5 years, so they got rid of him. I don't know. They need to get more athletic in the outfield. I think that's clear. Soto's probably not the long-term solution, right? As you've mentioned, as we all know, but he's one of the best hitters in baseball, so that's fine. I think they're getting athletic though. They're going to call up their young guys, or they're going to sign maybe Tucker, someone like that who can hold down a corner outfield spot. So that's Nimmo.
You kind of mentioned that pretty casually. That would be a massive move.
I
Like,
know. Well, I mean, I think that's honestly that could be a solution. We did shed a lot of payroll with getting rid of Nimmo, Diaz, Alonso, so. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think it's in the realm of possibility. But we'll get to what I think is going to happen later. I just want to go through each move first.
yep.
So next we signed Evan Williams, 3 years, $51 million. I would have preferred, honestly, that this was the setup man move. We keep Diaz and we have Williams be our setup man. But I do think he bounces back. The Yankees defense, as you've seen, wasn't great, and I don't think that was the whole reason he was bad. But our defense is just a little bit better. I think he's a good pitcher still. And he's playing in a bit bigger of a field. He's not playing in Yankee Stadium anymore, so maybe that'll help his home runs allowed. We'll see. It's a tentative move, but like I said, it should have been our setup move. It should not have been our closer move.
You're
Uh,
blaming the Yankees defense for Devin Williams blowing 11 saves.
I mean, it's part of it, and then I feel like he would always come in with inherited runners and allow them as well. I think that was a big knock on him, or he would allow inherited runners and people would come in and blow that for him. But we'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
You're upset about that one?
No, that's just go ahead. This is your segment.
Okay, and then next we lose Diaz. This was the one I think that hurt me more so even than losing Pete. Best closer in baseball, and not if he goes to an AL team, it probably hurts a little less. He's going to the best team in baseball, who just got the best closer in baseball. When I go to the games, I'm gonna miss hearing those trumpets blaring, good old Timmy trumpet. It just sounded like this was completely on the Mets front office. I think Diaz wanted to come back. They signed Williams and they don't contact him to let him know, hey, you're still in our plans. So he's like, all right, fine. I'm just going to go to the team that keeps winning championships and I'll win a championship, cement my legacy. So like I said, this move hurt me, I think more so than Pete, which may be a shocker to some, but uh,
Wow. I'm very shocked by that, but
I mean, he was electric, man. He's best closer in baseball, I would say, especially with Class A done for the rest of his career. I can't think of a guy who's better than him. So, and then finally, yesterday the news breaks. We lose Pete. Sad, all-time Mets home run leader. He goes to the Orioles on a 5-year, 155 million dollar contract. I think this one hurt my heart more than it hurt my brain. I know he's a lock for 160 games, 35 home runs at the minimum, but he's not a good base runner. He's not a great fielder, and I know, you take the hitting over those any day. But his hand-eye over the next few years is gonna probably diminish. He's not gonna be swinging as hard. He's not gonna make as much contact. I think it's a lot to guarantee a guy 5 years, $155 million when similar profiles, where they're just power hitters, kind of slow down in the later years. Maybe he's worth 2 years of that five or 3 years of that five, but five is a lot for him. Um, with that said, I mean, I think you think back to him breaking the home run rookie record or what is it, rookie home run record, and you picture him retiring as a Met. He hits the home run against the Brewers in the playoffs. You picture him retiring as a Met.
Home
He
run
breaks the Mets home run record. You picture that. What's up?
home run derby champion.
I don't care as much about that. I mean, that was cool too, but all these other accomplishments and feats that he did in a Mets uniform, you picture his number going up in the rafters, and he gets the final game as a Met. Everyone gives him a big round of applause. It's not going to happen, so it sucks. But we'll see. I mean, it kind of sucks for you that he's going to your division. I would not want to have to face him 13 times a year. But the Orioles also can't pitch, so it seems like they're putting all their eggs in a hitting basket. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm sad about all of it. It's just a weird thing. We needed a core change up, and I really don't blame the core. I mean, we've made the playoffs 2 of our past 6 years, which Alonso's only been a Met for 6 years. It feels like a lot longer. But we only make the playoffs twice, and I really don't think it's the core's fault. The surrounding pieces around them just weren't good enough, like our pitching staff last year. 2023 was just an overall mess. But I think the front office and ownership knew it was time for some changes, and these were the changes that they made. So got to live with it, and we'll see where they go from here.
I think in a week this is going to make more sense of what they do next. Right now, this makes absolutely no sense to me. So I'm not a Mets fan. I poke a lot of fun at the Mets, but if I'm going to pretend I am a Mets fan here, Pete Alonso just turned 31 years old. I just looked it up. His birthday was December 7th.
Yep.
Baseball players' prime usually lasts until 30,
30.
I'd say 32, 33. So that's potentially 3 years of prime Pete Alonso.
Yep.
He did not ask a lot of baseball players. I mean, you got to look at his numbers were, I would say he was the best first baseman in baseball last year, numbers wise.
No.
A lot of players are like asking for, we're supposed to see something. Kyle Schwarber, how
He got
old?
the same contract.
But how old is he?
Maybe a year or two older.
He's 32, but
Yeah.
it's in March. So he'll be 33. So he'll be 33 at the start of the season. Pete Alonso will be 31. That's a big difference. Like, I was shocked Pete Alonso didn't get a 7-year deal, 8-year deal, 9-year deal. A lot of play. He's homegrown. He's your all-time leading home runs leader.
Yep.
He is the second most. I mean, Lindor is there, but he's a very notable person when it comes to making money free, like drawing attendance, right? He's
Absolutely.
there, all this stuff. So financially, that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. This was only 5 years. This was only $31 million a year. Now, if you're my dad and I say only 31 million, he's like, do you know, blah, 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 blah. He's yelling at me. But he's also 67 years old. Like, I'm talking about modern day baseball. Soto just got paid 55 million. Otani gets paid 70 million a year. So $31 million is very affordable in today's baseball.
Yep.
You basically gave him away. And even if you only have him in his prime for 2 or 3 of a 5-year deal, isn't that worth it with Soto in his prime right now? Isn't that worth it with Lindor in his prime right now? Like you don't give up your 4 hitter protecting Soto for the next 3 years.
Yeah, I mean you're right, but they just didn't want to give him that long of a term. I think they're trying to shorten the terms of these guys. It's a long time. If he's only good for 2 or 3 of the 5 years, you're gonna waste $60 million in the last 2 years.
Yeah, but Aaron Judge, he's signed a 9-year deal, right? And
And
he might suck the tail end of those 3 years. There's a high possibility he is swinging and missing. He won't be able to keep up with that inner fastball, just like A-Rod. He won two MVPs.
nah.
Like winning two MVPs in the beginning of that contract pays for the end of that contract. Like
Yeah, but Pete's never gonna win the MVP. He's not a good enough fielder. He's not a good enough base runner. He just hits home runs and he's in the lineup every day. It's a little bit different. But Judge is making what, 45?
I just I can't believe you're not outraged by this. I'm looking at his stats this year. I mean, he batted 272, which is higher than almost 90% of the Yankees. Right? So in today's baseball, that's fantastic. He had I mean, I'm sure you could quote it, but now I need to like look it up to almost defend. He had 38 home runs and 126 RBIs. Like
He was good.
I just and he played the last 2 years. He played all 162 games.
That's the part that hurts the most is his availability.
He played 162, 162, 160, 152, and he had one injured season. This rookie year, 161. You don't give a baseball player up like that when he's only asking for 5 years, 31 million. That's crazy. You give a
No.
baseball player like Cano. Cano was 32 years old and asked for a 10-year contract, 300 million. And at the time, that was crazy. You give him up. Cano, 10-year deal, that's not worth it. Pete Alonso was asking for five. I just,
His 2 seasons before this one were bad too, though. I think he really wanted to play for this long contract and he got it. He hit 217 2 years ago, 240 last year. And the year before this one, he couldn't hit with runners in scoring position. The year before that, the Mets were just a total mess.
that
Um,
217 is an outlier. The year before he had 271, the last year he had 240, the year before 262, and that
yeah.
year he had 217, he hit 46 home runs. So he probably was like, I'm gonna follow the stupid algorithm that everyone keeps telling me about. He batted 217, was like, fuck this, because you can see his numbers drop. He went from 46 to 34 to 38, and his average went up 60 points.
I mean,
Uh,
trust me, I'm not happy about it, but I'm not going to come on here screaming. Like I get why they did it. They have to make some moves. We just had a collapse of a season. You can't just keep running the same team back, especially when they're all aging players.
I don't give up my all-time Mets home run king, who's only 31 in his prime, will be in his prime the next 3 years with no immediate solution. Who's playing first base next year?
We have a bunch of young prospects who one of them's a beast first baseman. He's probably projected to hit 25, 30 home runs, Ryan Clifford. I think that's going to be their move, or they're going to sign that guy O'Hearn from the Orioles to be like a 1 or 2 year stopgap to Clifford if they wanted him to produce or
Listen,
develop.
you never know what's going on behind the scenes. You never know the prospects and how good they're going
Yeah.
to be. I'm in,
I think our front office has done a terrible job communicating to players too, and I think last offseason really rubbed Pete the wrong way. I don't think he really wanted to come back. Like the second the season was over, he's like, I'm opting out. He changed his profile picture. I really don't think he wanted to come back anymore, and we weren't gonna overextend ourselves to get him back.
can I just throw out another thing that, you know, if Carl was here, he'd think I'm trying to gaslight. Carl would think I'm trying to rage bait him. Like you left the New York Mets, and I'm complimenting the Mets here. You left the New York Mets for Baltimore. Like what? So no offense to Baltimore, but Baltimore hasn't won the World Series in 40 years. Like you didn't go to Boston, you didn't go to the Cubs, you didn't go to like I'm
I
sure
thought he was gonna go to Boston.
like you didn't go. I mean, even teams that are like competitive, like relatively competitive, the Diamondbacks, the Rangers, the Seattle, the Seahawks, like to go play with
The
Kyle Raleigh.
Mariners,
That's what did I say?
the Seahawks.
Sorry, the Mariners
He's gonna go play with Sam Darnold.
probably be yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. So I just like, why are you going to Baltimore? That made no sense to me either.
They might have been the only team that wanted to give him 5. I think the Red Sox were rumored to want to give him only 3 or 4 years. I think that might have been the difference is he gets that 36-year-old season locked up.
I really don't understand. I don't understand why. I think he's a really good. I don't see him day to day like you do. I just
No,
see
he's a great player. I don't know. He just swings hard and he swings and misses a lot, and it's just gonna get worse and worse as he gets older. I think that's really the main thing behind it.
I think
I
he's
love him though. I think he's probably one of my favorite players of my lifetime, all time Met.
correct me if I'm wrong. Are the Mets in win now mode?
No, I don't think this year.
Okay, so for the next 2 years, you're not in win now mode.
I think they're gonna try and sign Scooble with all their might in this next offseason, and then they're gonna count on all their prospects coming up. They have a top five farm system in baseball. I think they're counting on 2027 to be the pop year.
2027.
And there's gonna be a lockout too, so God even knows if they fucking play.
Okay, then giving it Pete Alonso makes perfect sense because you're projecting to your win now mode is 3 years from now.
Yeah,
Then
two
why?
to three,
And I'll even I mean, then why do you sign Juan Soto?
because he's 26 and he's gonna be good for the next 5 to 10 years.
Okay, he does have an opt out clause 4 years from now.
Yeah, he'd be an idiot if he gave that up. You think someone else is gonna pay him more over 10 years?
I think if during that off if that year he bats 300, 44 home runs, 126, he'll opt out.
Yeah, good
But
for him then. I mean, he'll have earned it. It will have earned his contract too if he's that good where he wants to opt out and get more money.
listen, we'll move on after this. I'm a big person in all four major sports. You draft to find Hall of Famers. You don't give up Hall of Famers in their prime. I thought the Cowboys at the end of the day was dumb to give up Parsons. I think I just think it's dumb to give up Hall of Famers. If you were going to not sign him, if you weren't going to sign him, then just trade him.
Well, we couldn't trade him this season. We were trying to go for the playoffs and it came down to the last game. Like what were we gonna do? Give up on him in August? You can't really do that.
Just don't give up my all-time home runs leader at 31 years old
Yeah. We didn't give him up either. He just signed somewhere else. We didn't want to pay him for 5 more years.
for 31 million. That's
It's a
not
lot of money.
this guy. What are you talking about? This owner has like $44 billion.
Yeah. But we need pitching though. That's what we're gonna go after. We have a lot of good pitching prospects. We have a lot of good hitting prospects. It's I think he wants to build a Dodger system, and you don't give a guy 5 years, $30 million a year when he's 31 if you want to build the Dodgers. And don't bring up the Freddie Freeman thing because Freddie Freeman's a different case. He's a better fielder. He's a better overall hitter.
I typed in Freddie Freeman.
I know that's what you're gonna do. It's a different case though. They're not the same player,
It's like, what are you talking about? I literally typed in Freddie Freeman because he's 36 years old and they signed him.
and he's still good.
Oh, I don't think you give up on P. Alonso. I think that was a huge mistakes. But we'll see.
Like I said, Diaz was the bigger mistake, especially because he didn't want 5 years, only wanted three. Three's an easy match for Diaz.
He's also 31.
No,
All right. The Mets is very interesting what's going on with the Mets. What's not interesting, I'm not doing a segment on this, is the Yankees. We don't hear anything.
yeah, I was actually gonna bring them up because I saw your worst takes later on, and I was gonna have to argue back with you on that, but
We'll do that later. I don't want to talk about the Yankees right now. Get me riled up.
all's quiet on the Western Front with the Yankees. I saw their one report that Bellinger wants seven, they want to give him five, and besides that, I think that's been their only news pretty much the whole offseason.
Too much it. I'm not going to concern myself with the Yankees until you change GMs, until you change owners. It'll be the same. We will go to the playoffs. We'll be good. We're the Dallas Cowboys, but like a little better. Um, all right. Moving on to the New York Jets and the New York Giants. I mean,
Let's start off with the Giants because I just did my whole Mets thing.
yeah. So the New York Giants, um, they had a bye, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, listen, I don't got a lot to fucking say.
I know. It's
Say is we have the number one pick uh right now. And you said something in the beginning of this. I don't know if we were recording yet, but you were like the Giants and the Jets, what happens the next 3 weeks we won't care about in 2 years. That's not true because I still remember losing to the Eagles. Sorry, beating the Eagles in the last week of the season where they pulled Jalen Hurts and then their coach got fired because of it. We lost out on a massive draft pick that year. I still remember Tommy DeVito beating the Packers and everyone like going like this with the cutlets, and we lost out on Drake May or Jaden Daniels. I still
Who did
remember,
he beat? He beat a good team too, right?
yes, the Packers.
Yeah.
They went to the playoffs that year. They were really good. Um, so these next 3 weeks are really, really big. We got the Vikings at home, which the Vikings are a very weird team where they get shut out, then they kill last week's team. We have the Commanders without Jaden Daniels because I think. Oh no, sorry, we have the Commanders this week.
Yeah, he's gonna play though, I think, right? He's like just
Oh,
questionable right
he got,
now.
he got ruled out, I believe.
Okay.
He got ruled out, I believe. So
For
we
the
got
rest of the season or just this week?
just this week, I think. For some reason, the Raiders game isn't popping up for me. There it is. Okay. So there's one, two, three. There's 4 games left.
Oh, you play the command. Okay, you play the Commanders
Play the
this week.
Commanders, then we play the Vikings, then we play the Raiders, then we play the Cowboys. I'm hoping to God we lose versus the Commanders. That's going to be the big one. The Vikings, I'm hoping we lose. And then the Raiders, they're at home. They should win.
The Raiders are gonna. No, you guys are gonna definitely beat the Raiders.
What I'm hoping for the love of God is we lose out, or at most we only win 1 game. We don't need the number one draft pick. We just need a top 2 or 3 draft pick. The goal is to trade back.
Yeah.
Um, the dream is to have the number one draft pick, but it's very hard to have the number one draft pick. It's almost like impossible to get. You almost
The
have to
Jets. The Jets have been bad for like basically since 2011 on. They've never had the number one pick. It is really hard to get.
number one pick. We've never. So the Giants have never had a first overall pick either. So it's really, really difficult. We just need to lose out, and then we're just all eyes on the draft. Um, my dream, I was reading an ESPN article, and the ESPN article literally was like they projected the draft. I don't know if you read it.
Did it have the Jets trading their 2 first round picks and like the second round pick to the Giants for the number one pick? Yeah, I saw that. It's
Yep.
not gonna happen.
That's the dream. So the dream would be for the New York Giants to the Jets give the 2 picks, and then we draft like a monster and that like top 5, top 10, and then again at 19. That's the dream. We just have to keep losing.
Just to add on to that, if the Jets did that, I would be very, very mad because Mendoza looks good, but
Yeah, he's
he's
terrible.
not a generational quarterback. He's not someone you trade your whole draft for.
No, he's horrible. What I would say the only other, so that's the draft. That's we just have to lose these upcoming 4 weeks. It will set us up for 10 years. Um, I would genuinely pull Dart. I said this the week before the Patriots game. He's just not ready. He's a great quarterback, but he just doesn't listen to these current guys. They just don't listen to these current guys. So if you're not going to listen to me, I'm pulling you, and you're not playing. You can't do that. It's like people are like, well, it's not that simple. Yes, it is. Hey, you can't run and try to get a first down and get destroyed on the sideline. If you do that again, I have to bench you. If he does it again, he benched. And we put Winston in, we have some fun. So,
I
uh,
think Winston will win you more games right now than Dartwood, which is probably not what you want.
yeah, but at least I don't have to worry about him getting hurt.
Yeah.
So lose out, don't play dart. I mean, if you really want to lose, I guess you just throw in Russell Wilson, but that'd be torture. Um,
Yeah, they should start Ross.
let's say on the Giants. I did tell Allison that for all you listeners out there, Bobby eliminated me from the fantasy football playoffs. So that was a stinger. All I needed to do was win 1 game the last 3 weeks. I didn't. I ended up 7-7, lost the tiebreaker to Mikey and Nick. Uh, that's a shame, but really, and then my work league, I didn't make the playoffs. So,
Oh no.
well, yeah. So basically, with the Giants in the current position and my 2 fantasy leagues out, it's over.
Is
I
she gonna is she gonna make it so on Sundays you watch Mormon Housewives or something instead of
She loves the Mormons. I don't know what I'm going to be doing on Sundays. Obviously, I'm still going to watch, but not with the same intensity or love or passion. I'll be like that annoying guy now who's like, is this all we're, that Jaden Smith meme? He's like, let's talk about other. You don't know that meme? He's like, let's talk about the cultural influences of the world. Like, why are we talking about this? I'll probably throw it in here, but I'll be like, hey guys, let's go by the bonfire. Why are we all
Yeah.
why are we inside all
Why are
day?
we huddling around this TV?
Yeah, I'll be like, Pat,
There's lots of nature out there.
let's go play some basketball. Let's go play some tennis. Let's go do something. I'm gonna be that annoying guy now, so it sucks.
So what happens when you're done with fantasy. And I'm sorry I had to do it, but on top of playing spoiler, I did want to keep winning. You know, you never want to lose in fantasy, even if you already have the buy locked up. I don't want to lose to you.
I think Nick's gonna be a problem. I think I had a much worse team. I think it would have really been beneficial for all of you if I was in and Nick was out, but I'm just saying that. But we'll see.
All right, on to the Jets. We
Yeah.
can make this super quick. Um, so another season, we are onto our third quarterback. I have looked into this because I was curious. Since 2019, there's been only so two of the past 6 years um, have been seasons where we haven't used the third quarterback. One was when Darnold and Flacco played. I believe that was the season when Darnold got mono, and then last year with Rodgers. So pretty much every season the past 6 years, we've used our third quarterback, and they're always terrible. This guy Brady Cook, maybe he'll be all right. We should probably honestly start him the rest of the season. But third quarterback again, and we got absolutely dog smacked by the Dolphins, who actually are kind of making a push right now. Um,
Yeah.
Tua and McDaniel, I would say they're the third worst coaching QB combo in our division. They fucking own us. Tua is 8-0 against us in his career, which is just not something that you ever want to say when you have Tua in the conversation is he's undefeated against you. And then McDaniels is 5-2 in his career against us, unacceptable. Shout out to our special teams, though. I did want to give them a quick shout out. They're ranked number one in the NFL. Three return touchdowns, lots of long returns. Folk has only missed one field goal or extra point the whole season. And Austin McNamara, I think, is going to end up being the all-pro punter this year. So shout out to special teams. It's probably the reason why we've won pretty much every game we've won. So it's not going to be something that we want to hang our hats on because we could probably have the number one overall pick if they weren't so good. But it is interesting. We have a brand new special teams coordinator, and he looks like he's the real deal. Hopefully, we could keep that up. And that's
Hey,
all I had on the Jets.
special teams, special players. What say?
Making special plays.
Special plays. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Good for you. The Jets. I hope you keep winning. Moving on to storylines. We only have three this week because I'm on my lunch break and I don't have that long. And not all of them are NFL. One of them is college. So the breaking news was the Michigan head coach. This really wasn't in our outline. Uh, all I'll say about the Michigan head coach is my man. To all of you guys out there, you can do anything you want. Just don't date coworkers. I
Keep
don't.
it in your pants.
Okay.
I'll put it that way. I don't know what he get arrested for though, because you can't get arrested obviously for cheating on your wife or whatever. Did he abuse this woman that he?
I've read some crazy stuff. I've read some stuff that the reason I heard he got like arrested.
This is all alleged, by the way.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
I heard he got fired and he caused the scene. And then
Okay.
he got arrested. He got arrested because he caused a scene after getting fired. He didn't get arrested because of the reason for firing. I've heard that he made this girl have a procedure to get rid of a baby. I've heard all these crazy ass things. I don't think nothing's for fact right now. I would just say, my man, you got a dream job at the University of Michigan. If you're a head football coach, I mean, there aren't a lot of jobs out there that's gonna beat. I'm not a college guy, so I'm not like Dave Portnoy here bumping up Michigan. There's not a lot of jobs out there better than the head coach of the University of Michigan.
Top five job in college, top 10 job in college.
Easily top 10.
Alabama, Notre Dame, LSU, maybe Ohio State. Uh,
USC,
would you say?
USC.
Yeah, maybe.
I personally would rank Michigan above LSU. The history of the program for its totality. It's been around. It was winning national championships in 1920 something. But my point is just, guys, what are you doing? Like, you have the dream. You're a multi-millionaire. Like I don't want to understate that. Like I know earlier I was talking about Pete Alonso making that 31's not a lot. Like if someone just gave me, I don't want to say my salary right now, but if someone just gave me like let's say 500K a year, like I'd have no problems in my life. Like it would just be like a fantasy world right now. Like if someone gave me $30 million and it's like, hey, here's $60 million. All you have to do is A, B, and C, and one of them is not sleep with this particular set of people. Just don't do it.
I wouldn't even look at them.
I wouldn't even have them in. I would have a bodyguard in front of me. I'd have three bodyguards forming a triangle around me, rotating. Where they, as I'm walking forward, they're walking somehow while walking forward. Um, I just thought that was crazy. Just I didn't
Yeah.
put that in the outline. What I actually had in the outline was
Shocker news. I mean, that was shocker news though. Like I didn't even hear anything about it, and all of a sudden he's arrested, he's fired, all in the same blow, pretty much.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, just two things: keep it in your pants, one, and two, don't shit where you eat. Like if you're gonna, don't ever cheat on your wife, please. But if you do, there's a whole lot of people that you could, like the Lane Kiffin playbook, like Pat was calling it.
yeah. Lane Kiffin does whatever he wants for the last 25 years. No one gives him shit.
Yeah,
Just I'm, I don't want to go down this road, but I'm sure
yeah,
Kiffin's wife has a mutual understanding. Like I'm gonna live this lifestyle and be a millionaire, and Lane's gonna do what Lane does, and we're gonna just do whatever we want here, like
yeah,
whatever. So whatever. Um,
yeah. We'll move on that.
Move on that. Just really quick, because we don't really talk about college football that much, but what do you think of the college football playoff? Are you in favor of the 12 teams that got in? Um,
So, I mean, just bluntly, no. The only requirement I think is that one of the G5 teams needs to get in. So I don't know why they forced two in. I know you had your argument, which you can give. But I mean, Notre Dame, they lose the two teams in the playoff. They were on a 10-game winning streak. They look like one of the best teams in the country. They felt like they were a slam dunk. And then BYU only had two losses the whole season, and they were both to the same team, which the committee had ranked as the number four team in the country.
yeah,
Um, no clue why either of them were left out. And Alabama had three losses. One was to Florida State, who was awful. And I know they didn't want to get dinged for the SEC championship, but they didn't look competitive in that game. It was kind of a shocker that they were in as well. So I don't know. I think they got it pretty wrong. Personally, just looking at the quality of the teams that are in versus the quality of some of the teams that I left out. But I do think that there's a bigger theory behind this, and it's about the NCAA making money, which is a big shocker. I think this is going to become a 16-team playoff in the next probably year or two. They're gonna the second that
I
they're able
don't
to
even know
do it,
why
they
it's not.
will.
I don't know why it's not now.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, that's what they're heading for. They're going to say these selections are too hard to make. Like we had to leave Notre Dame out, we had to leave BYU out. Let's make it 16 teams, and they'll add what two more games, actually would it be four more games because all the teams on the buys would have matchups as well. So it's just a money making scheme that the NCAA is going to pull by doing this year. You screw a bunch of kids out of playoff opportunity to better your career earnings or career, organization revenue over the future. I think that's what this is all heading to.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about money. I would say the reason there were two bad schools, why Tulane and James Madison made it, was how they originally had set it up. Was the ACC was supposed to make it, the ACC champion,
Yeah.
and then you were going to give one slot to the littler schools, and that was supposed to be like for charity. Duke winning with five losses was fucking crazy. The ACC, the ACC, that was ACC's fault.
It
You
was.
can't have Miami not in the ACC championship game, who are 10-2, who are ranked 15th in the nation, and you have Duke, who's 7-5. That makes no rational sense. Like, oh, well, conference play and then this and that. No, no, stop. That makes no sense. I just would say that I agree with the current system in letting the smaller teams have an opportunity to get in. They do it in March Madness. They do it in the World Cup. I was listening at the World Cup drawings, and I'm a big geography guy. I like geography. There were some countries I'd never even heard of before. Then you have my country. Then you have Italy not making it the last two World Cups. Where if Italy played some of these teams, they'd win 8-0. It's supposed to. It's the World Cup, and you give these people opportunity. And the reason they do that is because then all of Africa, all of Asia, all of South America, all of North America, because the United States don't deserve it, we tune in. So it's all about making money. March Madness, it's you have an opportunity. Like FAU, you have an opportunity to win by allowing the opportunity, the hope, right? Like Batman in the prison with Bane, by allowing them to think they have an opportunity, those first 4 weeks of college football, the whole country is involved. Like the whole country, like that whole conference of Tulane, conference of James Madison, they all care. Then all the alumni start like we can make the college football playoff. They start giving money. So it's just it unifies the entire country by base. It's America, right? It's the United States. Everyone can win, hypothetically. Um,
Until they get steamrolled by Alabama in the first round, 49 to
sure, sure. Let's
10.
never forget Boise State beating Oklahoma on the hook and ladder
Yeah,
those years ago. And when you watch YouTube and the best sports moments ever, that's one of the clips that show
it's
up.
always on there. Yeah.
Will happen.
That'll happen eventually too. One of these G5 teams will beat a Power 5 team and it'll be a big deal, but it's going to happen once out of every 7 years or something like that. It's not going to be an every year occurrence. So,
But how many times does the one seed lose in the NBA playoffs? Like once every 15 years? Like
yeah, it's true.
that's just how it goes. When it comes to Notre Dame, and after this, I'll be pretty much done. When it comes to Notre Dame, listen, guys, you're not in a conference. Like you're not in a conference, so you don't have a conference championship
They
game,
were the ACC champions because that's what their whole schedule is. They play all the ACC teams and they beat them all, besides at Miami.
but you lost to Miami.
Yeah.
So if you have the same record and you went head to head and you lost, you can't be in. Um, Notre Dame's problem with that was that week after week they were ranked ahead of Miami
Until the end.
till the end. It's like,
Yeah.
well, we just have Miami ahead of us the entire time.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean that's it. I think the system is good. I'm in the minority. I think people would really crap on me, but I just think involving everyone and giving everyone a small opportunity is better than just making it elite. I also think the real way to solve college football, their entire crisis, is actually what the Premier League does with regulation. I think you have 32 teams at a time, 32, 32, 32, 32, until you go all the way down, until you reach FAU. Like they might be in tier seven, doesn't matter. Um, and you move up based on or you move down. You can do the bottom four teams and the top four teams. It's just like soccer. And I think that's actually the best system, but that will never happen here because Notre Dame, for example, Notre Dame can go 2-10 and they're going to draw a bigger crowd than FAU no matter what. So Notre Dame would never agree to that method because they're like, I'm not leaving my NBC deal for FAU. I'm never, never. No, I disagree to that. They'll never do it. But the best method would be regulation, Premier League soccer.
Yeah. It's honestly, I think, I mean, this is completely off topic. We probably would have seen FAU in the playoff if it expanded when Kiffin was there, which would have been fun.
It would have been fun.
Um,
Um, Also, just a little side point. I just thought if I was on the committee for if the NFL had the college football rules, it'd be hilarious because like the Colts lost their quarterback and they're bringing in Philip Rivers. And if I was like a person, I'd be like, yeah, no,
it would have
you're
been like Florida State that one year when their court, or was
yeah.
it? Yeah, it was like Florida.
Be like, ooh, looks like the Chiefs are in. Ooh, you know who I think is who are going to be in these playoffs? I think the Ravens, the Cowboys, the Bengals, and the Chiefs. Plopping out the Jaguars, the Colts. I don't know. I'm taking you guys out.
49ers.
Uh,
Yeah.
Ravens, Bengals. I'm gonna throw in the Lions too. They're interesting.
Bears,
The Bears, yeah, Bears. Sorry, you're not there yet. Cowboys, you're in. That's basically all it comes down to is TV ratings. Yeah, Lions, Cowboys, Bengals, Chiefs, Ravens. Those five teams, they're in. Well, why? Eye test.
They just look better.
but they
They have the
lost.
pedigree.
Like Alabama lost to FSU. FSU is one of the worst teams in the league. Like, well, that happened at the beginning of the year.
But Notre Dame lost to Miami at the beginning of the year, and
Then it's like, well, BYU lost in the conference game. Well, BYU has two losses. Well, Alabama has three. Well, that game doesn't count because it's in the championship game. Well, BYU's loss was in the championship game. Yeah, but
yeah,
that was versus, that was in a different conference. SEC's the king.
yeah,
But Texas Tech is ranked higher than
yeah,
it's just money. It's just money in TV deals.
yep. But it's surprising that Notre Dame didn't make it, considering its money and TV deals too. Honestly. Anyway,
Yeah, actually, that goes right into our next subject. This could just be a one-worded answer, or actually, no, I gave an order. It's exactly what I was just talking about. Which team are you saddest about potentially not making the playoffs? Chiefs, Bengals, Ravens, Cowboys, Lions.
so this is all emotion I base this off of. It's not whether one team's better or worse. It's just the teams that I personally like watching or you know, enjoy their team more. The team I'm sass about missing is the Lions.
Mm.
I love watching them play. Their defense isn't great, but that guy Jameer Gibbs is special. Probably my favorite non-Jet. I like Goff. I like their coach. So they're definitely the team I'm sass about. Then the Bengals probably. One is partially ego. I had them as my AFC champion. And no Burrow in the playoffs sucks. Number three is the Ravens. I thought Lamar was gonna run back the MVP again. He won 2 years prior. He lost last year. I thought this was gonna be another MVP season for the Cowboys. Their offense alone is the reason why I'd want to watch them in the playoffs. Like they'll probably be in a game that's 41-38 or whatever in the playoffs, and that would just be fun. And then the Chiefs I had as the team I'm least sad about. I'm kind of tired of them. If they were in the Super Bowl again this year, like I probably would have been incredibly bored watching them play again. So that's my list. Chiefs fatigue is real.
I would have had we're almost the same. I would have had Bengals one just because I love Burrow. I would have had Lions two, Ravens three. See, the difference between you and I is like I would take the Chiefs over the Cowboys just because the Cowboys are in the playoffs. Like at least the Chiefs the last 7 years they were in the AFC Championship game. They did win three Super Bowls. So when people talk about them, it's valid. Like the Cowboys just suck. And I don't care about them. So it's really, really gratifying to me when the Cowboys don't make the playoffs because then you have like a 4 week period where ESPN like literally can't talk about them. They still sometimes try. They'll be like, what
Yeah.
is Jerry Jones going to do this offseason? And I'm like, no, please,
But the
please.
Cowboys have beaten the Packers in Lambeau last night.
Oh,
Just inserting them into needless conversation.
I remember when the Cowboys they lost to the Packers with Des Bryant doing that catch. Super Bowl week, they were talking about that. And I'm like, guys, it's over.
Yeah, they lost.
So I
Move on.
love when the Cowboys don't even make it, because then I don't have to deal with them at all. Um,
I watched Get Up for the first time this morning in like year. I don't think I've actually ever watched it before. I didn't realize the Bussin' with the Boys guys were on it. It's interesting.
they just signed him.
It doesn't seem like they work well. Like it seems like Schefter and Orlovsky and all them want to talk over them and validate their opinions. It's kind of interesting.
Well, it was so I was it's weird, Bob. I watched it too. It was so funny because who's the bigger guy? Uh
Taylor Lewan.
Taylor. He was the guy who went to Michigan.
Yeah.
He was so funny because the ESPN people just say nonsense. Like they don't have any factual bias at all. And Michigan is not in the same level as Indiana or Ohio State.
He was ups
Taylor
he was
Taylor
upset.
literally goes, "We beat them last year." You want to go up to these ESPN people like, what kind of statement is that? Michigan beat both of those teams last year.
Yeah.
No championship 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like it's like that's such a stupid statement. But yeah, ESPN basically is they just poach all Barstool.
No.
Oh, you're doing well
Except
in Barstool, you're doing well in ratings, we'll take you.
except Big Cat and PFT, who they tried to make a show with, and then Barstool got accused of like all this misogyny and everything, and they had to cancel the show after one episode.
Yeah,
I'll never forget
with
them.
their female CEO.
Yeah.
That
Sam Ponder,
I made a
Christian Ponder's wife.
that made a lot of fucking sense. They fucking
That was the show to Poach too. That was like the number one podcast. It still was one of the best podcasts, and
best
they had him and they fucking fired him after 1 year or one episode.
podcast in the world, and
Yeah,
I watch it 3 times a week. I love Part of My Take, and ESPN was a dumb, that might have set them back 10 years not signing those guys. I mean everything about them. And you know what's funny about their podcast is they don't really even curse. They don't even talk inappropriately.
no,
Like they just talk about sports and they don't talk about the Dallas Cowboys 24 fucking 7.
no.
Also we got a shout out from Zach. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. We're
Uh,
gonna be added to the list next year.
that'd be hilarious. All right, moving on. Simple question. I just noticed it was so funny. Last week was a bunch of great games, and then this week is just a bunch of horrible games, but they're crucial to the good teams. So
No.
I'm going to name you the matchups, and I just want you to say which team needs a win more. So it's Raiders at the Eagles, Jets at the Jaguars, Browns at the Bears, Titans at the 49ers.
Which team do I think needs a win the most?
Yeah.
It's got to be the Eagles.
Hmm.
Things are not going well in Philadelphia. Have they lost three in a row now?
Yes.
They've
No.
lost three in a row.
Two.
They lost to the Cowboys. I know they blew that one. And then what happened Thanksgiving week?
I'm
I feel like
looking. They lost to the Chargers. They lost to the Bears. They lost to the
yeah,
Cowboys.
the Bears. Yeah, they lost Black Friday. Yeah, three in a row. They need a win. They're throwing AJ Brown now, but Jalen Hurts is becoming a bit of a turnover guy. What, five interceptions in the past two games. And they even tore down the positivity rabbit. He lasted a total of 4 days, the 8th through the 11th. Um, the positivity rabbit is gone. They need a win, and I think they will. The Raiders just look absolutely horrible, but they feel like a team on this list in terms of standings, in terms of just mood in general. They have to win, so I think that's a no doubt from me.
So for locker room culture, I agree with you. I think in a literal way, though, I'm going to go Bears. Um, the Eagles still have a 2 game lead for the Cowboys. The Cowboys are still the Cowboys. You know they're going to lose down the stretch. The Bears are right. They're teetering. Um, they're in the 7 hole. I don't think the Packers are really. The Packers are dangerous because they have that tie. And then right now they have the head-to-head. You have the Lions, Panthers, Cowboys to a degree, right on their trail. If the Bears can win this week versus a horrible Browns team, they'll solidify their playoff spot. I guess you could say the same with the 49ers, but honestly, even the 49ers, like for God's sake, like the Titans are atrocious. Um, but I'll go Bears.
The
They're
Bears and Lions are close. It feels like there's more than a game separating them, but they do play too.
they're 1 game. They're one game separates them.
Yeah.
I'll go Bears.
And the Lions and the Bears play the last game of the season too, looking a little bit ahead.
Love that. Um, I'll go Bears. Fun little fact, I think it's gonna be -10 degrees in Chicago this week, so that'll be a fun game. I'm sure Shador will have a blast uh, in that cold, even though I don't hate Shador. So,
He's a Colorado guy.
yep. Okay, that's my NFL takes. We got our segments now. Bobby, your top 10 teams. I'll do pick'ems, and then we'll do our last couple things. So,
Power rankings.
our rankings. Let it
We're
rip.
back. We're back for the power rankings. So just a forewarning, my top five has not changed very much, or top four has not changed much at all. But we'll start off at number 10 because that's how the power rankings go. Um, so this was between two teams. The Chargers were my one consideration, but I'm gonna give it to this team, the Jaguars. They were not ranked last week. They smack around the Colts team, who loses Daniel Jones, and now they're on to a 45-year-old quarterback. We actually didn't discuss this podcast, which actually was fascinating to me that they decided to bring him back of all people.
I don't even get that.
There's a lot better options, I think, that you could have gone to. Shocking that they called him up off the couch after 5 years. But anyway, back to the power rankings. Jaguars are my number 10 team, and it looks like they can wrap up the AFC South. Their rest of their schedule is pretty easy. Number 9, the Bears down 4 spots. They lose in Lambeau, and maybe I ding them up too much for that. but I don't know. Their rest of their season is not going to be easy. They will beat the Browns this week, but they have the Packers, 49ers, and Lions to finish the season. And this could be a typical Bears collapse where they miss the playoffs. I would not be shocked.
That's why they need to win this weekend.
No. Number eight, up two spots from the 10 spot last week. The Houston Texans. They beat the Chiefs. Defense, their defense is just has dogs. That guy popped Rice. That was a crazy hit. They were making plays all over the field. They held the Chiefs at home to 10 points, and they win in Arrowhead. That's almost impossible, honestly, to one, hold the Chiefs to 10 points, and then two, to win in Arrowhead.
It was
So,
crazy. When they went for it on fourth down,
yeah,
that was one of the worst decisions I've ever seen. I know modern NFL and I don't get along, but
yeah.
that
They were
was
on their own 30-yard line against in a 10-10 game in the fourth quarter. Like, it's a defensive battle. Just punt the ball away and live to see another day. Yeah,
crazy. Yep.
yeah, that was insane. Number seven, they're up one spot from last week at number eight. I have the 49ers. It was a bye week for them, so not really anything to say, but I do think I have them above the Bears in terms of the better teams in the NFC. Number six, I have the Bills up one spot from last week. They beat the Bengals. That was a sneaky important game. Snow filling the building, and you kind of almost eliminate the Bengals from the playoffs, which I think is important for the Bills to do. Um, it's crazy that it looks like Josh Allen's going to be the only like big four quarterback in the AFC playoffs this year. It looks like we're going to miss out on Burrow, Mahomes, and Lamar. Number five, I have the Broncos up one spot from last week. They finally have a wire to wire win. They didn't have to come back. They didn't have a back and forth game. They go wire to wire against the Raiders. I still don't want to put them this high. I'm going to keep saying it the rest of the season. I think they're frauds, but they've won 10 games in a row. I really can't not have them at number five. Number four, they haven't moved. They were our number four team last week. They're still my number four team. I have the Seahawks. They womp the Dirty Birds on the road. They go to Atlanta and womp them around. And JSN back to his dominant ways. He has a big game. Number three, again, no movement. I have the Packers as my number three team. They beat the Bears. That rivalry will keep running through Lambeau, maybe forever. I don't know if that'll ever change. Number two, same again, stays like before. I have the Patriots. They have a bye week. This game this week though is going to be huge. It's against the Bills. I think if they could sweep the Bills, their people's perception of them is going to change. They're not just going to be that scrappy
The
team.
Bills are favorites.
I know, which is crazy on the road. Yeah, this could be a perception changing game for the Patriots. And then number one, I have the Rams. No change. They just I don't know. They just keep beating up bad teams. And yeah, they
Yeah,
won by like what 30 points or something.
if anyone here is listening to the full podcast, the actual reason I lost my fantasy was because of Blake Corum.
Yeah,
That's the actual reason because he somehow, some way is now equal to Karen Williams, and was getting end zone, red zone touches and that late run. The second he had that late, I literally said to my dad, I go, the Rams are unstoppable right now. They're going to score on every drive, and they just didn't have. They had Blake Corum in, and that's actually why I lost because Blake Corum had like 25 points and
they
whatever.
were almost too good. Like was the problem? They beat the Cardinals by too much, where Stafford didn't really have to throw it. They could
No,
afford to use the
they pulled
backup a
him.
bunch.
They pulled him the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah, they were too good for your own good.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. 20 time. I make my picks. This is pretty much the only thing I have left for the season. I just want to give a shout out to Mikey Smith for making quite literally the worst picks I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything like that. When I logged in, I always log in after the 4 o'clock games to see where I'm at. I mean, it was just straight red. He actually, I mean, I could look it up. I think he had the worst week out of all 100 participants. Yeah, he went 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He went 3 and 11. That's almost hard to do.
Yeah,
Bad week,
especially since it's not spreads; it's just straight up.
no spreads. So
Yeah,
usually the worst I do is, I mean, the worst I do out of like 14 games is usually like 7 and 7. There's no spreads. So congrats, Mikey. It's right here. You had the worst week I've ever seen in my life. So you're horrible. But anyway, that's not the point of this. It's to make my picks. I'm back finally after 2 weeks. It's funny. I won and then I gave it to Kevin and Mikey and I've lost. Um,
Surprised you gave it to them and didn't even make you like make them pay you back or something.
it's only $10 a week, and I already won this year, so I won 500 bucks.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Thursday night football. I'm going to start Falcons at Bucks. I'll go Bucks. Mike Evans is back.
By
Um,
the way, sorry to interrupt. First week in a while that there's been no buys, which is nice. We have a full slate, top to bottom. Okay, sorry. Good.
I know it's my favorite week of football, and I'm not in the playoffs because it's not because Christmas you'll have like 5 days of games. This is the best week because you have the 1 o'clocks, 4 o'clocks, only one Monday, one Thursday, no Saturdays. It's the best week of football.
No,
The Giants are horrible, and I have no fantasy. So, um, Bears at the Browns. I'll go Browns. Ravens at the Bengals. I don't know. This is a weird game because Burrow's saying he's joyless. But
that was big.
yeah, I'll go Bengals. Cardinals at Texans. I'll go Texans. Jets at Jaguars. This is a must win for the Jaguars. I'll go Jaguars. Chargers at Chiefs. Very interesting game because I feel like the Chargers are winning, but like they're dying in the process. I think last week they gave it their all. I think the Chiefs win this game. If the Chiefs lose this, I won't bet them the rest of the year. Bills and Patriots, man, what an interesting game because in my gut and in my heart and in my mind, I want to go Bills. But I think off the bye, I think Vrabel's going to have these boys ready, and I'm going to go Patriots. Washington at the Giants. It would sicken me if the Giants won. Um, Mariota, dear God, I'll go Giants just because the Commanders are so bad. The Raiders at the Eagles. Eagles have to win. Packers at Broncos. Really good game. Maybe the game of the week.
No,
Game of the week's probably Lions, Rams. A lot of really good 4 o'clock slate. Packers or Broncos? I'll go Broncos. Just keep winning. Panthers at Saints. I'm gonna go at home randomly. I'll go Saints. Lions at Rams. This is a must win for the Lions. I'm gonna go Lions. Colts at Seahawks. I'll go Seahawks. Philip Rivers might. I mean, if Philip Rivers' first game back is in Seattle, he might die. Where's Philip Rivers' wife in all of this? Where are his children being like, no, dad, like,
his 16 kids or
if you
whatever.
feel the itch to go play, go join an intramural league. Go join a
Yeah.
7-7 league. The NFL in Seattle is 10 kids.
He has grandkids, right?
Yes. Titans at 49ers. I'll go 49ers. Vikings at Dallas.
Dallas.
I'll go Dallas. If it was at
Yeah.
Vikings, I'd pick Vikings. And then Miami at Steelers.
This is actually going to be a good game.
Steelers. No, it won't. It's at night. It's in Pittsburgh.
Oh, it's going to be cold. That's right. I always
Um,
forget about that. The Jets, or the weather cooperated with the Dolphins because like two is like oh and whatever when it's below 40 degrees, and I think it was like 41 degrees when the game kicked off. So you got lucky.
those are my picks. Really fast for you. Thursday night football. Who wins? What's the
I
score?
had so this is actually kind of a big game for the Bucks. Evans is back. The Bucks defense is kind of bad. I don't know. I think it's going to be a big Bijan game, but Kirk Cousins just doesn't have it anymore, and the Bucks need to win this game, so they will. Give me the Bucks 28-20. Evans is going to catch a touchdown, and Egbuka will have a touchdown, and their running back Bucky will have a touchdown as well. If you wanted a little three touchdown parlay, and Bijan as well, if you want a four leg. It's not going to happen, but that's my prediction at least for the touchdown scores.
All right. Uh, Worst take of the week.
Worst take of the week. I thought that the Chiefs had it in them. It was a must-win game in Arrowhead. They usually don't lose those. Um, they do. They did though. It's going to be a tall task. They are 2 games back of all the wild card teams, and they literally don't have a tiebreaker, so they have to go undefeated and hope one of the teams loses 3 games, which isn't in the cards. They're done. Good night, Chiefs. That was my worst take that they still had a chance. And it's all because of the Texans, honestly, that they don't.
Okay. My worst take of the week is the Ravens losing. I definitely thought they had climbed out of the hole and they were going to I thought they were going to kill Pittsburgh. Um, were they in Baltimore?
Um, I don't remember honestly. I think it was because they play again. Uh, yeah, it was in Baltimore.
Yeah, so I mean, I thought they were going to absolutely kill the Steelers. I was wrong.
No,
I just thought, man, it's over. But Rodgers had a great game, ran one in, great game. So I'm wrong.
no,
Best take
shocker,
of the week?
honestly.
Yeah, best take of the week.
Packers just still own the Bears. I really couldn't think of a better one than that. I don't think the Bears will ever. I mean, I guess eventually they will, but I don't know. It's just weird how badly they own the franchise. It's not like it's one quarterback. It's like every quarterback that they have just owns them. It's kind of bizarre. So it's my best take of the week. I was struggling to find a good one here.
Yeah. Mine's easy. So if you already read it, then I'm just going to read it without a lot of emotion. My best take of the week was I thought it was insane for Soto to go to the Mets. Um, you do not, if you're a star player, if you're any player, matter of fact, if you're even an employee, you do not leave the Lakers to go to the Clippers. You do not leave the New York Giants to go play for the Jets. You do not leave Real Madrid to go to Atletico Madrid. In the past couple of days, they have lost their closer. They have lost their homegrown Hall of Fame first baseman in his prime. They did not make the playoffs last year. They will not make the playoffs this year because they have no starting pitching. What the Mets will probably do now is act out of desperation, and they will trade their whole farm system for a couple of pitchers who will eventually get hurt, just like Santana did in '07. They are pathetic of a franchise, and I can't believe anyone uh, would choose there over any team, let alone the Yankees. Um, and I truly, in my heart, think the Mets should move. They should leave, just like the Clippers. I think they should leave, and I think the Mets. And I wrote down a few cities: Quebec, Vancouver, Nashville, and then maybe does Austin have a team? That's pretty close to the Rangers. But yeah, Nashville, Quebec, and Vancouver. I think you should leave New York. Um, because who would want to be next to the Yankees? I think the Clippers should leave. I don't know why they're there. So yeah, my best take of the week was I thought it was ridiculous Soto going to the Mets, and I'm right. So
It's been 1 year. I don't know if you could say that's right after with a 15-year contract.
well,
Uh,
for now I'm right.
I had a rebuttal and I'll read it
Oh,
verbatim like you did because I read yours prior to so the Yankees I think at this point are a brand. They're not really a well-run organization. So I
we
the
make the
fact that
playoffs.
that
We make
you're
the playoffs
parading
every year. We have a three-time MVP in our team. You've never the Mets have never won an MVP.
that's fine. They're a brand though, and they're gonna be quickly aging. Judge is 33, Cole's 35, Stan's 36, Freed 31, Rodon 32. You're on the hook for McMahon, who literally cannot hit for another 2 years at $16 million. Either Bellinger is gone or you have to lock him up for another 5 to 7 years. Jazz is gone after this season. You have a bottom 10 farm system. Um, the holier than thou approach is interesting because you hate your own organization who only cares about making money and treating your front office and coaching staff like family. Hal is a great study into nepotism ruining great things.
Vancouver, buddy. All right.
Okay.
Last minute shout outs. You can go first.
Two things. So first is shout out to the bye in the fantasy playoffs and knocking Mike out of the playoffs. He needed to beat me to get in, literally just one win, and he fell short. That was one shout out. We're getting a little contentious here at the end, which is fine. And then my other shout out is to my to my girlfriend. So it's gonna go from contentious to my girlfriend. Shout out to Kara. Happy birthday. Uh, turn 28 next week. And I'm looking very much forward to spending the day with you. And I love you.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
My last minute shout out is Christmas break. I work at a job where I still get Christmas break. And if we're throwing in girlfriends, I don't think I said this on the last podcast. If I did, correct me, but Allison got a new job. Uh,
Nice.
she got a new job. In the stereotypically, it's a better job. That's why she's leaving me. She's leaving Tampa Catholic, so I'm a little sad. But she does move on to a job higher paying and a bigger title. So congratulations, Allison. Awesome job. And Christmas break. I'm off after next week. I'm off like 2.5 weeks. As an adult,
Gotcha.
that's awesome.